Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I am your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted to welcome a very, very accomplished individual from Lonavala, India, Mr. Ruzbeh Bharucha. Ruzbeh, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm honored to be part of your show, Ashutosh.
Thank you. Ruzbeh is a seeker and a storyteller in his own words. He's also a documentary filmmaker, a journalist, a public speaker, and conducts workshops on spirituality and self-growth nationally, internationally, and online. Ruzbeh has been interviewed by Darshan Delhi on his contribution to spirituality and spiritual literature, and he's the author of several books. So, Ruzbeh, let's start by asking you about your amazing journey and what took you to the Sai Baba of Shirdi.
I was the first editor of a liquor magazine in India called High Spirits.
Okay.
And Jaico Publishers wanted me to write a book on liquor and the spirit world. I approached them because I had left my job, and I approached them, and he started off by saying that I want you to write a book on spirits. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought he was talking about life after death and spirit communication.
Okay.
I said, are you sure you want me to write a book on spirits? So he said, you are the best qualified person who can write on it. And we were talking, he was talking about the liquor industry and I was talking about the spirit world. The topic came of hangover. And I said, you mean in the spirit world, hangovers take place? So then he told me, what are you talking about? So I thought you wanted me to write a book on life after death. So he said, I like your idea better. And you start researching on life after death.
Wow. Okay.
And that's how my journey started.
Amazing. And what took you to Sai Baba of Shirdi?
We've always been Sai Baba of Shirdi devotees. Both my sides, my mother and my father's parents, always been Sai Baba of Shirdi devotees.
Okay.
And so, one of my earliest recollections of my childhood is of going to Shirdi. So, I think, and I always believe that we don't reach our master calls us to them.
Well said. You have, Ruzbeh, written 21 books.
Yeah.
What are these books about? And what is some of the most important take-home value for our viewers and listeners?
See, I've written two kinds of books. One is on social topics. So I wrote a book on mother and child in Indian prison called Shackles and Cages, where I interviewed prisoners, I interviewed the mothers and children in prison. I made a documentary of that. I wrote a book on juvenile delinquents, which is called My God is a Juvenile Delinquent. In fact, I think the Supreme Court has put the book as preferential reading for other judges.
Wow.
I made a documentary on one of the biggest slum demolitions in the country called Yamuna Pushta. And made a documentary and wrote a book. And it's the only recorded history on the demolition of the slum.
Okay.
BBC has used it quite often in their footage. The other side is on spirituality, the paranormal, life after death. How one can go through life with calmness and dignity, even though life may be giving you a thrashing. So the main theme is, the main philosophy, I mean, if you would ask me to, encapsulate in a few words what the books on spirituality is about, it's about giving your best to each moment and then leaving the rest to the wisdom of Goddess God Guru.
Amazing.
And leaving it calmly, joyously, fearlessly.
Wonderful.
So that's I think the cornerstone of what the books are all about.
Amazing. You, given the diversity of interests that you have, Ruzbeh, and your underlying security of spirituality, which you obviously have very, very strong inside you, how have you incorporated spirituality in your day-to-day life? And how should people be looking at it in the world and in the corporate world?
See, whether it's the corporate world, whether it's a homemaker, whether it's, a poor man trying to keep head above water, the only thing that I feel one can take with oneself is living life with calm dignity. Okay? We are going to have ups and we are going to have downs.
Yeah.
We are going to have successes and we are going to have failures.
Correct.
It's not about all that.
Correct.
It's about how you go through each moment, with integrity, with calmness, with a lot of humor. Because if you survive this world, you've got to have a lot of humor.
Yes.
And I think, what do we have in our hand? All we have in our hand is giving our best to each moment, each relationship. It does not matter whether you are in the corporate world or whether you are a housewife or whether you're a student. It does not matter. What matters is, are you giving best to each moment? And then you leave it. You leave the results, everything, to the wisdom of your goddess God Guru. It's very akin to what Lord Krishna tells Arjuna.
Correct.
Do your dharma without contemplation of the fruits.
Correct.
The day you can manage to do that, trust me, a lot of burden is removed from your shoulders. The only thing you ask yourself is, did I give my best? Did I do it honestly? I mean, did I take everybody along with me? Did I come from oneness or did I come from duality?
Fascinating.
And that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Because, Ashutosh, I do believe that we are governed by our samkaras, we are governed by our planets, we are governed by our karma. What do we have? What kind of free will do we have? The only free will we have is giving our best and then, very calmly letting go of the results.
Very well said. And, as you were talking, I was reminded, my father used to tell us, he was a very senior brigadier in the army, and he always told us when we were young, that when you are standing in front of the mirror shaving, if you can look at yourself in the eye and say, yesterday I did not knowingly harm anybody, that's the only justification you need for anything in life.
I agree. That's what I said. You give your best calmly, with integrity, with compassion. We are losing out on compassion.
Correct.
We are losing out on empathy and compassion.
But, Ruzbeh, you also talk about operating from the higher self.
Yeah.
For my viewers and listeners, help me understand what is higher self and how does one go about doing this?
Okay. When you operate from calmness, when you operate from oneness, which is, whatever I do, I'm trying to do for the largest well-being of not only myself, whoever I'm interacting with. And when you operate from, am I making my goddess, God, Guru happy and proud of me each moment? You automatically start operating from the highest self. Okay? When you start operating from the highest self, you stop reacting, you get proactive, you don't react. Yes, you may project a particular emotion. Like if a child is doing something wrong, you are not angry, but you may project anger. Because sometimes in the corporate world, sometimes in life, you have to project a particular emotion, otherwise you might be taken for a ride.
Correct.
So when I say operate from the higher self, forget everything. making your goddess God Guru happy and proud of you? Are you making your loved ones happy and proud of you? Are you making your ancestors happy and proud of you? You know what, Ashutosh, you will rarely go wrong then.
Very powerful comment.
Yeah, you will rarely go wrong.
Correct.
You know, many times if I have to do something, I just ask myself, will I fall in the eyes of my master, my goddess, my child? And you know what? You will be on the straight path.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell me, given all your knowledge and understanding, do you feel we have gone wrong where religion is concerned?
See, spirituality is about oneness. Religion in its pristine form is about oneness. The translation of religion now has become about duality. My God is bigger than your God. My God is better than your God. My God is better than your religion. The moment duality comes in, you are not being spiritual or religious. Ashutosh, a very simple thing. When I do namaste to you, what am I doing? The divine within me bows down to the divine within you. Right?
Correct.
What are you acknowledging? That within you and me burns the same spark.
Correct.
Right? You call it Avramasda, Allah, Adi Shakti, Param Kali, Narayan, God, Jesus, doesn't matter. We all are operating from that same spark.
Correct.
Religion has become more about duality now.
Very interesting.
I think everything is going wrong. Yes, respect your religion, praise your religion, but don't put another religion down. Don't,
Correct.
Don't operate from your lower self. Not going to make your goddess God Guru happy of you.
Well said. Well said. And how do you stay connected with divinity in a material world?
You need, a very simple thing. Islam talks about 5 times namaz, right? That is, Islam has come of maybe 1,000, 1,400 years ago. Zoroastrianism, which is 2,700 years before Christ. The Sanatana Dharam, which is going on for thousands of years. Everyone talks about praying 5 times a day. Aarti is done 5 times in the temple. You are staying near a fire temple, a Zoroastrian fire temple. You will hear the bells toll 5 times a day. So basically, if you can, every few hours, for a few minutes, go within. Just calm yourself down. Say a short prayer to whoever you believe in. Center yourself. And each moment try and make your God Guru happy and proud of you. Trust me, all's well. Spirituality is not complicated. We have complicated the shit out of it.
Correct. Well said. Well said.
Paramahansa, Sri Paramahansa Yogananda.
Yep, I've read his book.
In his epic autobiography of a yogi.
Yeah.
I read it when I was 17 years old. And one sentence has stayed with me till now. I'm 55 now. He says, God is simple. Anything else is complex.
Correct.
So if we can simplify our life, I think, it is not very difficult to be on the path of spirituality.
Very well said. Great response. Thank you.
Ashutosh, what is the meaning of saying that this person is spiritual? In ancient times, when an individual operated from the knowledge that he or she is not the body, he or she is the spirit, the energy in the body. that individual was called spiritual. And if you can remember this through the day, trust me, you will be spiritual.
Thank you. Wonderful response. My next question is, what do you see as the role of Hinduism in a highly polarized world, and what are the challenges we face?
I do not like this word Hinduism. Okay. There's nothing like Hinduism. We are talking about the Sanatana Dharam.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. The Sanatana Dharam, the foundation of Sanatana Dharam is, in one word, Namaste. Divine within me bows down to the divinity within you. Which means in each of us burns the spark that has come from the great flame. And the Sanatana Dharam, the great Maharishis, Rishis, others, they have taught us to go within, connect with that divine spark and become divinity ourselves. Sanatana Dharam in its purest form is divine, is sublime. Two wrongs make one right. If somebody is doing something horrible, you don't stoop down to that person's level. I am really, really saddened when I see my friends, when I see those people who come for spiritual counseling and they're putting down other religions. I always tell them, listen, you praise your religion. Live your religion first, no? Sanatana Dharam has said, it's a way of life, right? Incorporate that way of life within you. It's not about religion.
Correct.
I don't think Sri Ram is going to be very happy if somebody hacks down 5 people on the road. I don't think that's what's going to make Sri Ram proud.
I agree. That I'm in agreement with you completely. Completely.
So if you're talking to me about the Sanatana Dharam, I mean, it is mind-blowing. I mean, the Maharishis and Rishis were not only sages, they were scientists too. I mean, look at it. Thousands of years ago, they knew that the earth was round. It was revolving around the sun. The characteristics of all the planets. Astrology came after that. Ayurveda, without any laboratories, they have defined every plant, root, leaf, how good it is for you, what is not good for. I mean, they were virtually scientists. Sages who were scientists through their sadhana.
Correct. Correct.
That is Sanatana Dharam.
Absolutely.
That is Sanatana Dharam.
Absolutely. Well said. And, you know, when again I was reading about you, you also did an interview on spirituality and spiritual literature on Doordarshan.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this interview.
I'd come up with, by then I'd come up with around 11 books. And they called me over and, you know, they said that we would like to talk to you about your work. We'd like to talk to you about yourself. I said, don't talk about myself. You want to talk about the work. And eventually, what did we talk about? Be humble, be compassionate, give your best, leave the rest to the goddess, God, Guru. Compassion, share a little to the underprivileged. Nothing unique, what our parents and grandparents have taught us.
Correct.
And we have forgotten that.
Right.
Now you have 5-day retreats on meditation and 14-day retreats on breathing. You're forgetting the foundation of being a decent human being, which is what spirituality is about.
Correct. 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 Well said. I have time for 2 more questions. My next question is, how do you use spirituality when it comes to trolling?
How I use it? Simple. If you go on Facebook or social media, I put 2 quotes or maybe an article every day, and then I get out. I don't read the comments, whether they be praises or whether they be trolling. Trolling is somebody's perception about another person or their work. I don't care a damn about somebody else's perception about me or my work. The only thing I care about is my goddess God Guru's opinion about me and my work. I care about my loved ones and my daughter's opinion about me as an individual and my work. If you have all the time to troll me, God bless you. Go, because I ain't reading your stuff. I ain't reading your stuff.
Well said. Well said.
So, you know what? Everyone complains, oh, there's so much trolling. I'm going through depression. Why the hell are you
reading it?
Never wrestle with pigs. Ashutosh, never wrestle with pigs. You are going to get dirty.
Correct. That's a powerful statement. And my last question to you, and this is for the many, many people who will listen to our conversation, Ruzbeh. Based on your amazing learning, your own journey, your own self-realization, your ability to operate from the higher self, what would you say are 3 lessons you would want our viewers and listeners to take away?
We are not the body. We are only going to go back with our karma. Nothing else. We don't come empty-handed. We don't go empty-handed. With our karma, and we go back with our karma. Never forget this.
Right.
Remind yourself every day. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, in whatever capacity we can, spread happiness, spread peace, spread joy, spread the light. And 3rd, do unto others what you want others to do to you.
Well said. Wonderful. Wonderful. And on that note, Ruzbeh, and your 3 amazing lessons. First one, of course, is so powerful. We only go back with our karma, and that seems to counter what everyone says. We come empty-handed and we go empty-handed. We come with a karma and go with a karma. Very, very interesting, very powerful statement. Your second one was to spread happiness and spread the light. And the third one, which is again so well understood but very poorly implemented, do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. Thank you for speaking to me. Thank you for talking to me about your amazing journey, about your books. Thank you for speaking to me about spirituality. I mean, my learning today from you was that every individual, irrespective of, to use your term, whichever God, guru, leader he follows or she follows, has should be offering 5 prayers a day. Thank you also for highlighting the value and the importance of Sanatan Dharma, and how much we can take from Sanatan Dharma, and how important it is to give away these parochial mindsets that we tend to have about our own so-called religions. Thank you again, and good luck.
Thank you for having me on. Jai Baba.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.